So the first thing to say about this character is you need to think carefully about who else you're playing in your team. His offensive game and mind games and pressure around these kicks really only excels and is really only powerful when he's got 2 good assists to support him. It's also for this reason that I don't play him in the anchor position in my team, because realistically I don't want to be left with this character as my last character at the end of a game, because his offense without assists is actually much weaker. So the first and most basic mind game around Blue Vegeta and his kicks is the fact that your opponent doesn't know whether you're going to do 1, 2 or 3 of the kicks, so it's difficult for them to know when to take their turn back. You can reinforce this in their brains by actually setting a precedent and completing the full 3 kicks a few times, so that the next time you do it they're expecting the 3 full kicks again. And this is where the mind games open up, because the next time you do those kicks on block, instead of doing the full 3, you can do 1, cancel, and stagger into his extremely quick 7-frame down light. It'll look something like this. See that? So while they're sitting there expecting the second Rekka to come out, you can try and hit them with a really quick low. You do need to be careful with this though, because there is a gap in between doing the kick and going into the low. So if your opponent is expecting the stagger, or you're getting too predictable with your staggers, your opponent can interrupt you for a full combo punish. But this is where the character gets interesting, because you've got further mind game and mix up options from here, because you can delay the Rekka kicks, fake out, make it look like you're doing a stagger, but then actually you hit him with the Rekka kicks anyway. Alright, so look at the difference between the delayed Rekka kick and the not delayed Rekka kick. That's not delayed. The second kick comes straight after the first. Now I'm going to slightly delay it. Noticeable difference. So if you do that and your opponent is expecting the stagger because they see a slight delay, and instead of that you do this, that's a full combo. Alright, so the next thing to say about these Rekka kicks is that when you do the second and third light Rekka kick, you have some really good mobility options in the air. So you can do stuff like, you can dash, you can super dash, you can even land an overhead attack. So unassisted, this stuff is really unsafe because your opponent can simply 2H you out of the air. But this is why Blue Vegeta needs assists, because with assists you can cover yourself so that you can really open up the mix-up potential. So let me give you some examples. So each Rekka kick leaves you at a different distance and position from your opponent, which opens up different mix-up options. So off of the first Rekka kick, you're left quite close to your opponent and you're not in the air. So you can set yourself up for a dragon rush like so. Which is a pretty basic way to use an assist on a Rekka kick, but also quite effective. But also, with the first Rekka kick you can cross over and hit on the other side, and with an assist you cover yourself to do so, so it'll look like this. Boom. So the second Rekka kick leaves you at a further distance from your opponent, but you also have some air mobility options. So with an assist you can get some mix-ups like this. You can go for the instant air dash overhead, you can go for an instant air dash empty into a low, you could do a run up dragon rush, a run up low, plenty of options there on the ground. And also with the second Rekka kick you can do this. You can dash back from the air to your opponent and hit them with an overhead. So you can use the assist to cover you, and it'll look a little bit like this. Boom. So the third Rekka kick is really good because not only does it leave you airborne, but it also leaves you very close to your opponent. So not only do you have left-right mix-ups, you have overhead mix-ups as well. So watch. You can cross over for an overhead, and of course from there you can cross over and do a dragon rush, or cross over into a low. Or of course you can just choose to stay on the same side and do an overhead. And that's where the mix comes in. And of course in all of these cases you're going to be using your assist to back you up, so it'll look a little bit like, or you get the point. And the last little mix-up is the fact that, remember, the second light Rekka kick leaves you quite far away from your opponent. So if your opponent's paying attention, they'll know that after the second Rekka kick, you usually won't be going for a left-right mix-up, you'll be going for an overhead low, Dragon Rush mix-up, right? But the second heavy Rekka kick, which costs a bar, crosses up. So this is a further little mix-up there, because you can use an assist to back you and get more mix-ups from there. And that is it from me today, folks. If you found this video useful, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Bear in mind, this is the first video in a 3-part series I'm planning on this character. The next one will be on how to use his assist and what his assist utility is in a team. And the third one will be how to use his command grab and command grab setups. So if you're looking forward to that, if you want to find out more, hit that subscribe button. I'd love you forever. But for now, peace out. And I'll catch you in the next video.